we supposed to say that this is the start of Magma's character development and that he's slowly becoming an ally? And the guy that we finally believed to be an ally may have second natures or whatever? Well, he was a consummate liar, so we should have seen that coming. Whatever he is planning, it cannot be good. Yet, this is the Dr. Stone chapter. Actually, it felt a little slow this chapter, but not necessarily bad. First of all, this is the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer. Support Parsec if you haven't already. It's Magma together with Senku and Chrome are off to the mine, and of course everybody of the other team is a bit nervous about that. However, strangely enough, almost strangely enough, Ashiguro again smiles and says that the bastard Senku-chan has finally left the village, as he asks everyone to tell a lovely story. Whatever that devious smile means. Is that meant to imply that in the end Ashiguro again was a triple agent? Or is that meant that he is now intending to take power for himself? Or is he gonna do something else? Ashiguro again, if you really are a triple agent, then fine, you tricked us all. But if you're not, then what is that smile to be? Is that to be a revolt or something? Or to support anything? After all, he is only looking out for numero him, so who knows what he's planning. Either way, the team mining enters the thing where they tries to find the treasures. And of course, walking with Magma is a bit scary, especially for Chrome, who acknowledges that Magma is a musclehead and someone who would chop someone in the sleep. And this, however, but Senku just pulls the logic, the fact that they need to have someone with Magma's brute strength if they even want to get the heavy stone. And Chrome still points out the fact that if they lose their lives, Tsukasa will come and attack. In a way that is similar to what Ashiguro Gen is doing right now, if he is intending to turn him against the team science, then they have problems. But then again, Kohaku is there, and she has actually said she do not like Ashiguro Gen. So whatever he is planning, I don't think Kohaku will get that off scot-free. So either way, but until then, they get as they go further into the mine, they enter a Mika place, which creates natural pitfalls. No way to dug up strong. It's during this time that Magma actually tries to fall. Make Senku fall, but Senku tries to save him. Of course, he is not strong enough to do this. It's during this time that Magma finally begins to beg and say like, he doesn't understand how Senku, who is weak, could become useful. Nor does he, because for him, there's always been the strong guys that become bosses and gets the women. So he cannot understand what is science and how a weakling like him could possibly change everything. So well, Magma may be a jerk, but in the end, this shows some minor weakness inside Magma. Magma has been made a fool of, that's for sure. But it's also the fact that. For him, there's always been just him, the strongest man of everything else. So he cannot comprehend that someone as weak in the body as Senku could possibly overpower him with such things as science. Alas, they fall into the pitfalls where they cannot climb out of. It's during this time, though, that Chrome pours water into it as he pulls up a pretty amazing scientific question, saying something like, since he finds a water pool nearby, if he can fill the water, they may be able to float their way up, which is actually a pretty nice idea. If they are in a pitfall and there is water, you have to pull the water so you can float. However, pulling the water in a can is not good enough. So Senku enters his thinking mode and starts to calculate many different things. as he says to Chrome he has a plan and tells him to build it up there through his destruction. No, not destruction, discussions. So so Senku talks to Magma saying like if one is destroyed, the others can't go on. If you think that our time the weakling dominated strong, as if it's just a division of labor. In science civilizations, weaklings like us are necessary, and muscle-head blockheads like you are necessary. Even with guys with no particular talent, one day they can be useful. Who's the boss or the number one doesn't matter. A varied group equals strength. That's a pretty philosophic way for someone like Senku to say. However, water begins to pour down more faster than before, as they have created a siphon, so to speak. An elementary level school project called a siphon. It's almost like a water pump. Because then the water sucks it up the water and pours it down faster. Alas, pouring the water down begins to freeze poor Senku, who may enter hypothermia. So Magma, with this strong strength, actually uses the strength to send Senku up through the cave, as it says that until we defeat that Tsukasa bastard, I'll help you. I'll help you since you're the boss. But if you do anything boring, I will kill you. In that way, we could say that Magma is now an ally, so to speak, an uneasy ally. But that is kind of funny, so to speak. So because Senku says that science could never be boring. As a guy who's always been entranced by that is true. All in all, I mean, this was a chapter that didn't really happen that much in, so in a way it felt pretty slow. But in the end, once again, Senku shows that he's not just brain science, he's brain strategic and brain, well, I won't say manipulation, but brain philosopher. Then again, what was Ashigiru Gen's smile? That puts me a little bit at disconcerting. But we'll see, won't we? Give me your thoughts if you have any.